The Indian Constitution functions as a structural engineering schematic designed to contain and distribute supreme sovereign power across 1 billion people. The foundation of this system rests on 3 distinct pillars: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. We will map this architecture from first principles, isolating the composition, procedural frictions, and fail-safes that define each node. This structural layout dictates how the Indian state distributes power without collapsing into autocracy or total gridlock. The legislative engine is a triad: the President, the Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha. The Lok Sabha, the House of the People, consists of 545 members serving 5-year terms. The Rajya Sabha, the Council of States, includes 238 members elected by state legislatures and 12 specialists nominated directly by the president. Procedural thresholds prevent these houses from convening at will. Neither chamber can conduct business without a quorum of 1/10 of its total membership. The scale of the parliamentary chamber illustrates the logistical necessity of this numerical threshold during a debate. Legislative friction is intentional. Every bill must survive 3 distinct stages of reading in both houses before reaching the president for assent. Money bills bypass this standard parity, granting the directly elected Lok Sabha absolute primacy over taxation and government spending. The Rajya Sabha cannot block these bills. It is restricted to a 14-day window to return them with recommendations before the bill proceeds regardless. While the legislative engine is built for friction and exhaustive debate, the Constitution removes these hurdles to ensure the government remains funded. Within the executive branch, power is divided between the de jure head of state and the de facto head of government. The office of the president is defined by its immense constitutional weight and symbolic authority. An electoral college of MPs and MLAs indirectly elects the president to this role. Article 361 provides these nominal heads with personal immunity, meaning the president and governors are not answerable to any court for their official acts. They hold the state's ultimate fail-safes, including the authority to proclaim emergencies and issue ordinances valid for up to 6 months. The Prime Minister operates on the opposite side of this division, wielding real authority under constant procedural vulnerability. Political survival for a Prime Minister depends on continually commanding a majority in the Lok Sabha. If a Prime Minister originates from the Rajya Sabha, they are procedurally barred from voting in their own favor during a no-confidence motion. Constitutional convention dictates that the Prime Minister must resign immediately upon losing that lower house majority. Nominal power is heavily protected and legally immune, while real power is ruthlessly vulnerable to the arithmetic of the legislature. The judiciary acts as the independent watchdog, ensuring both branches stay within their constitutional lanes. Supreme Court consists of the Chief Justice and 30 additional judges, forming a 31-member apex body. Removal friction maintains judicial independence. A judge can only be impeached on the grounds of proved misbehavior and incapacity. Under appellate jurisdiction, the Supreme Court accepts cases where a high court certifies that a substantial question of constitutional law is at stake. Article 143 allows for advisory jurisdiction, where the president consults the court on legal matters, though pre-Constitution treaties are generally excluded. Regional enforcement of fundamental rights is the primary domain of the high courts. Article 226 empowers high courts to issue writs, such as habeas corpus, which requires the state to produce a detained individual before the court. The writ of mandamus serves as a direct command to a public authority to perform its legal duty. Quo warranto allows the court to challenge the legal authority of any person holding a public office. These jurisdictional pathways and writ mechanisms allow the judiciary to strike precisely at executive overreach or legislative errors. Pulling back reveals the fully assembled architecture of the Indian Republic. The legislature passes bills, which the executive filters through presidential assent or conditional ordinances. The legislature checks the executive through the control of money bills and the threat of no-confidence motions. Legislative oversight extends to the judiciary through the rigid requirements of the impeachment process. Finally, the judiciary checks both branches using the ultimate fail-safes of judicial review and writs. Technical details, like a 1/10 quorum or Article 361 immunity, function as literal gears within this collective mechanism. This physical infrastructure houses the mathematical and legal framework that sustains the world's largest democracy. By mastering these structural boundaries, you move beyond the memorization of articles to understand how the Indian Constitution actually operates.